or mitochondria are also called the powerhouse of the cell. Now the next is lysosome. Lysosomes, they are called the waste collectors. Waste collectors. Now you are residing in a city, and of course wherever human being resides, they used to create a lot of waste. If those wastes which you are dumping around your house are not collected and taken away by some corporation, what will happen? It will create a problem, a pollution and a hazard, and ultimately the health will be disturbed. So there is a corporation, there is a community, a department which carries away all those waste. In the same way, various activities are going inside the cell. Substances are utilized, consumed, so definitely some waste may be generated there. These waste of the cell are collected by lysosomes. These waste of the cell are collected by lysosomes, hence these lysosomes are also called as waste collector. They collect all the waste of the cell and eat away. They are also called the phagocytes. They eat away and ultimately they also vanish away with all those waste generated in the cell. After that, the next is vacuoles. We will discuss about the vacuole. Now suppose in your city there is a factory in which glass bottles are produced. Now just think what happens when a glass bottle or when a lot of glass bottles are produced. Do or are they immediately sent to the market? No, they are stored, they are stacked, they are arranged, and according to the requirement they are sent to the various places. To store them, we need a warehouse, a place where produced substances are stored is called warehouse. In the same way, this vacuole is a sort of warehouse of the cell. Warehouse of the cell where prepared substances are kept. In case of animal cell, this vacuole resides at any corner or toward the cell membrane, and it is of small size. But in case of plant cell, this vacuole covers the maximum size of the cell and it is centrally located. It is hard and rigid. In case of plant cell, it is bigger in size, it captures maximum part of the cell and it is centrally localized. But in case of animal cell, it is very small and it is located at any size of the cell. Now we have discussed this many. Now the next is chloroplast. Before that, let me chromosomes. Chromosomes. Now these chromosomes are thread-like structures. Thread-like structures. At the time of cell division, these chromosomes grow and they split. When these split, the cell, the nucleus also splits and accordingly the cell divides. And this division of the cell leads to the growth of the organism. That means organism grow because their cells are divided, and cells, before dividing the cells, the chromosomes grow and divide and lead to the division of the cell. Next is ribosomes. Ribosomes are the components of the cell which are responsible for construction in your locality. Now construction means in the body, construction means the repair or formation of new cells. This initiates the division of the chromosome. This ribosomes initiates the growth and development of new cells, which is regarded as the construction. It are also responsible for the growth and repair of the damaged parts of the body by forming new products of the cell. The next is chloroplast. However, this chloroplast is a significant feature of plant cell. This chloroplast is a feature of plant cell which is responsible for the performance of process of photosynthesis. These chloroplasts have green pigments called chlorophyll. and chlorophyll is utilized by the tree for the process of photosynthesis. Hence you can, they also regard as the kitchen of the plant. Leaves are also called the kitchen of the plant because they have chloroplast where food is produced. So here this chloroplast, you can also call them as the farmers. Farmers. Why farmers? Because farmers are the person or the community which produces food, and food is required by each and every organism. So this chloroplast is called the farmers because they are responsible for the production of food. However, this is the significant feature of plant cell. So besides this all cell organelles, there is one more cell organelle which I am going to explain now. That is the cell wall. However, in this figure you are not able to distinguish them because it is already labeled. Okay. But in the book, when you will come to know, this is a cell wall. Again, this cell wall is a significant feature of plant cell. Animal cells do not have cell wall. Mind it. However, in this chapter we will come later on to read about this plant cell and animal cell. Yet, let me explain you. This cell wall is a special feature of plant cell, which is not found in animal cell. Now, just consider. You have a house, a beautiful house, and you have a boundary, a well-concrete boundary. What does that boundary do? That boundary stops any foreign person to come in. Now the same thing is done by the membrane, but some membrane selectively permits someone can come and someone can go. But the cell wall completely stops. No one will go outside and no one will come inside. This is performed by the cell wall. Now just consider the example of the wall, international wall between our country India and China. There is a wall which is called China, the Great China Wall. That China wall completely stops the in and out of any person across the border. No one can come this side or go that side across that border. That means it completely stops the in and out of substances. This is a significant feature of plant cell. It is called cell wall, which is not found in animal cell. So dear students, this was all about your components of the cell, and in the next class we will move for the further details, the further topics of the chapter. Till then, watch this video again and again, and if you feel any sort of doubt, you can make a comment under this video. Thank you.